back for another episode of The Lookout, episode 193. AD, after people listen to this episode, you know, we will know who's winning the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who you think got it this year? Who you think? You think we got some Mahomes magic again? I think Jalen Hurts got it. Got it.
If there's a
Finally got him
way,
one.
if there's a way for both teams to lose, that'd be amazing. Someone
No,
should hit a
for
someone should
sure.
hit a Bane.
Hey man, they in New Orleans right now.
Someone need to hit a Bane. You know how they get.
Oh
You know what? All right, so I'm conflicted because I have two cousins that I love near and dear to my heart, and one is a diehard Kansas City fan, and she's from Kansas City and everything. The other one's a diehard Eagles fan. And so naturally, because we are family, we wanted to see each other be in pain and agony because the amount of shit they talked when the Yankees lost, oh my gosh. And it pains me to know that I won't see both of them heartbroken. One has to win. One of them has to win. And so I'm conflicted, but I rock with Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon Barkley had a crazy year this year. I think Saquon Barkley, if the MVP wasn't the quarterback award, really deserved to get MVP because he went crazy. And
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Like, he spent his time with the Giants, you know what I'm saying? He tried to do as much as he could for that franchise. But the backwards hurdle sent him over the moon for this year, man. He got
backwards hurdle. 2,000 yards. Like he had a real chance to really break the record. But yeah, I think he just, it was nice to see a real hard nosed running back again. Him and Derrick Henry went crazy this year. I'll say that.
Man, I still heard about the Ravens, man. They should have won that game. They should have won that game, man.
Listen, white Michael Vick was inevitable.
You're absolutely right.
I'm sad for him. I need to see my boy get to the bowl, man. No, we should do those Eagles. Seeing Mahomes back there, just and listen, if someone's a Yankee fan complaining about someone winning back to backs, I know I'm the last person that should say anything, but it's no fun when no other team does it. It's only fun when your team does it.
Exactly. I feel like he had a conversation with Tom Brady. He handed him that dark magic book, bro. Like,
I think he was doing blood sacrifices in that locker room. Promise you. But hopefully we get a good game. Hopefully we get a good one. Obviously the Super Bowl is always fun. Halftime shows, commercials. It's a whole spectacle here.
Shout out to Kendrick though. You know what I'm saying? We 5 Grammys. He about to do the halftime performance.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
does he open up or end with Not Like Us?
I feel like he got to open up with TV off and end with Not Like Us.
I was thinking the same thing. I think coming out with Not Like Us is cheaper, but he'll definitely end the show. That's the closer for sure.
Yeah.
But no, we're here. We're back on Fishman Island. All right, before we really get into this, you've been watching outside of this, you've been watching anything else? You've been tapped in anything else?
I've been tapped into little things. I just got relogged into Netflix, so I'm about to catch up to Sakamoto Days. I've been watching Dragon Ball Daima, of course. We're about to get to the end of it. That's been a very fun watch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, everything feels pretty fast paced. There are a lot of things that happen that just feel like it should be a little bit more expanded upon. Like, if we had a little bit more time to breathe and explore like the demon realm, it would have been a lot better. And as far as some of the characters that got introduced, it feels kind of like, they're just here just to push the story along, just to get us to the next point, and then boom, they get taken out. Of course, that should happen when you're facing Goku, Vegeta, and them. But overall, I've been enjoying the Dragon Ball Daima watch. It feels very fresh to me throughout the entire thing.
That's I need to catch up on Daima. I did watch Sakamoto Days. I've been enjoying it. It feels like they're flying through the story a little bit, but also I haven't reread the manga in so long, so I'm like, maybe all this does happen right in the beginning. Um,
Mm,
but
yeah.
but no, Sakamoto Days is good so far. The animation still feels like video game cutscenes to me at moments, but overall, I just been enjoying it. It's been a good watch.
Okay.
Had
Oh.
Solo Leveling season 2. Once again, the
Mm.
shonen of all shonens, the most shonen that has ever shonen.
Tuh,
It,
I gotta watch that, man. I gotta
man,
watch season 2,
it's everything is so typical. It's great.
man.
It's such mindless watching. And, like, I'm just like, oh, this has the storyline is shit. It's
I mean, it
the
kinda
sto-
is like
the, the, the storyline is so basic, essentially. I mean, unless we start getting some more mystery, but like, there's nothing that's like, no, no, his
um
dad is the strongest and was left in a portal and this and that. And, it's just, I'm like, oh yeah, this is full blown. I understand why this is as popular as it is.
I mean, it feels very Hunter x Hunter. As somebody who read the webtoon, there's parts of it that are very Hunter x Hunter, and there are other parts that's just like, oh, this man is low key just Batman. He really just like
Bro,
he
he's
got the
just
solution to
OP.
everything.
Bro, he's so OP. It's great. Um,
um,
Even his challenging battles are like, come
yeah, yeah.
on. But no, I'm trying to think. Oh, I did watch Castlevania Nocturne, the season 2 of that. That was really good.
That I have to watch. I'm gonna sit down and watch it. I've really been
You seen
watching.
season 1?
Oh, I haven't. So here's the thing, right? I've only watched Castlevania up to like season 3. And so I just stopped after season 3, like whenever they had Dracula and the whole situation with him, and the villagers and everything. That's where I stopped off with Castlevania. It's not that it's bad. I just never went back to it. So
Nah,
I know
Nocturne is
that
so good, bro. It's so
yeah.
good. Um,
Um I have been watching I've been rewatching Kaguya-sama. I'm up to like season 3 right now. And then there's a new anime out. It's very cute. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's called Medalist. It's a very ice skating one. It's about a coach who never really got a chance to become a official like skater or anything like that. He performed and everything, but he started later than everybody else who starts from like a kids and everything. And so he meets this young girl who wants to be an ice skater, but her mom won't let her because her older sister got into an accident that prevented her from skating. So he sees the talent that she has and it's like, I really want to coach her up because I don't want her to end up like me or even worse, like regret everything. So like it's just a very wholesome and heartfelt, like shonen-esque sports anime. I'm not gonna lie. It's I've been enjoying that one. Kind of different, but you know, it's really good.
tight. Well, let's get to why we're really here. We're back in the new world. We're back in the One Piece boat, and we are back on Fishman Island. So
Yeah.
last time we were here, we just arrived. They had their first run in with the new Fishman Pirates. And once we get here, obviously the crew gets split up in true One Piece form. You got to split the crew up. You got to kind of,
Yeah.
this
It never fails.
it never fails. You gotta start building some type of dynamics between the others. It's great. So let's give a little breakdown on who's with who and what's going on. So right now, Zoro is currently, once they get split up, we find him with the Royal Guard or surrounded by the Royal Guard, and ended up
Hmm.
being taken back to the palace. Frankie, Nico,
Yep.
and Nami are together originally, but they kind of start doing their own little side missions,
Hmm.
connecting a lot.
Uh,
'Cause I like this part because you start kind of building up that personal story for at least for Frankie and Nico.
hmm Even Nami to a certain extent, like hers comes a little bit later in where the batch of episodes that we're going in. But like with Nico, it's like, oh, she wants to go find the poneglyph. Frankie wants to go find the Sunny because of course, they gotta get out of there somehow. So it's like, okay, I gotta find the one of my master's brothers who's also a shipwright. It's a long standing relationship with them. Um so it's good to see them all kind of go off on their own separate journeys while they're here. and they'll eventually come back together, of course.
Yep. So then we got Brooke. He's with Papa Goo right now. Papa Goo is one of the biggest fashion designers in the Fishman world.
Mm-hmm.
And Brooke is slowly becoming one of my favorites.
Yeah, man.
He got too much sauce. He got too
He
much.
got
Man, hey, Brooke got it. He got that it
hey.
factor.
Hey, yeah, yeah. Him and Papa Goo just chilling out at the bar, you know what I'm saying, picking up some mermaids, kicking shit. He really got rock star status going on, man. Just like got the fans going crazy, man.
Listen,
Brooke.
Brooke's that guy. Like you can't deny Brooke's the man. Listen, once he
uh,
became Soul King, he was just like, listen, I got fans all over the world, #1 charting out. Like he living the life. He's doing the whole bit. The
yeah,
fit
man.
crazy. Come on, man. Nah,
And he sing. He
Brooke
got he
will
pull the
definitely
guitar out any chance he get, bro. Like
if Brooke
let
was
me.
alive and around today, he would definitely be one of those IG fashionistas. He would
Oh
definitely
yeah.
be doing those get ready with me's.
Oh yeah. He's sponsored by Papa Goo, man.
Listen, the next Papa Goo drop, what's it called? What's his brand called? Criminal.
Yeah, Cremine or something like that.
Yeah. Nah, Brooke will be going crazy on the fashion Instagram. You'll definitely see him at Fashion Week walking down.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be going wild.
Mm-hmm.
And last up but not least, Chopper, Sanji, Usopp, and Luffy are all together. Real buddy cop energy on this one.
Oh man,
It,
I'm glad that Sanji. Like it's very fun to see Sanji. Actually live out. One of his dreams. I ain't gonna hold you. Like that man going crazy, swimming with the ladies. You feel me?
Sanji would have definitely been a slizzy. He's definitely rather a Cash Cobain than them. Horniest nigga alive. That's Sanji.
Yeah, nah,
Uh,
for real.
have we ever seen someone's horniness be a main storyline in an anime?
um.
Bro, like his like no joke, like his nosebleed thing opens up the can of worms of like
Oh yeah.
fishmen and humans not being able to give each other blood transfusions and all these other things. Like his horniness opens up the whole story essentially. It how's it kicked it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, man. I hate that they had to do it like that, but like that.
We've never seen anything like this. Like obviously he got a horny character in every anime, but his legit became a storyline. Like his
Like this nigga, he was
rehabilitation,
gonna die type shit. Like
you know. Oh man, so we see all of our people split up on their separate adventures. During these stretch of episodes, like Chopper, Sanji, Usopp, and Luffy are really the main focus of kind of
yeah.
and everyone obviously gets drawn into them. So we have this moment where the Royal Guard is no, they're looking for Luffy. They run into
Hmm.
Cammy and all them, and they're like, where's Luffy and them? Let them know that we got this message from Jinbei, but they're like, they didn't know what type of time they were on. So
Yeah, yeah.
they're like, I don't know. So they're looking out for them. Then we run into the Fishman Pirates that we ran into earlier, and it's the first time we see Luffy, um, like kind of not engage in battle, but engage in battle a bit. You also learn that he's now
Yeah.
immune to poisons.
Oh yeah. Because of his incident at Impel Down. Where he got attacked by the warden of Impel Down, who owns the like poison fruit, and so like because he was over poisoned and because of Ivankov helping him like save his life and everything, he essentially built up his immunity to all kinds of poisons, which is great for Luffy. But it's like, all right, bro, what kind of shit you been going through? Like Chopper had to ask, like, yo, you've been really going through a lot of stuff over the last 2 years. Luffy just shrugged it off. So
And
but we also
and that's the one thing I kind of like about these stretch episodes too, is that we're continuing to figure out that they really don't know what they went through these last 2 years. Like they didn't really
yeah,
sit down and have this full blown talk of like, man, I went through this and had to go through that, and like that's actually what. So it's
Mm-hmm.
cool for like the things to be revealed how they're being revealed.
Yeah, like even with Sanji, like to the point where this is a plot point. Like you wouldn't think that like, being deprived of women for so long would be this big of an effect, but no, like because they were looking for Luffy and them, and Sanji's Luffy and Chopper had to go hide, they ended up finding him because Sanji had that big ass nosebleed. So now he's bleeding out on the side of the ground. The Fishman Pirates come up. We even learned that one of the Fishman Pirates there were actually supposed to join Arlong back in the day, but he was a mercenary and Arlong couldn't pay his price. He said, "Nah, bro, like you got to pay up if you want my services." You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like it's just a good way to kind of showcase, just a little bit of Luffy's power, where he uses jet, gear 2 jet stuff, um, knocks him out fairly quickly, fairly easy. It's like, damn, bro, like Luffy back in the day would have had a harder time dealing with some folks like them, but because he was just, he's been through all that.
Yeah. Um. So the big, I guess the big overarching part is that we finally get to meet Horty Jones,
Yeah,
who we figure out is a drug addict, and he looks like Fred Berry. He
that's
looks like
absolutely
he's dressed like an extra in Good Times.
yeah. With the fro and everything,
Bro,
bro. Like
it's I don't know why I understand he's supposed to be like, you know, the niggas, but I was like, dang, they gave him they had my man straight dressed like,
very
you
Sanford and
know,
Son, you feel me? Like
man, what? I was like, dang. I was like, this feels kind of stereotypical. Like, I was waiting for a jive turkey to come out at any moment in time.
no, dead ass. Like they from the Lower East Side, you feel me? The Fishman District. They ain't not allowed to come into the city at all. You
Man,
know.
they kept my guys locked up. They say stay over here. They done red zoned them. This is definitely the DEI arc of One Piece.
Yeah.
Is this is the DEI arc, man. We talk about racism and we talking about uh, all of this.
Drugs, you know what
Civil
I'm
rights,
saying?
man, for real. What? So we learned that Horty Jones is the captain of the new Fishman Pirates. Um, we see him in action. We obviously know his distaste and hate for humans and land dwellers, and he is hate for King Neptune, who is the ruler of Fishman Island. And he's just like, nah, y'all being too soft on the land dwellers. His whole goal right now is I'm taking over all Fishman. Once I take out everybody that ain't with
Mm.
us, we gonna go onto the on the mainland and take over.
Hmm. We even get to see him link up with Vanderdecken, who we saw earlier. And they're not necessarily working under one another, but they're on equal footing, and then we get to see Hachi, who used to work with Arlong way back in the day. And they have a whole conversation about, man, y'all old heads, y'all wouldn't know nothing for real. Like we really about to step up and take over the new Fishman ideals. Like while Arlong had this kind of ideal of, he really wanted to go for what he wanted, he wasn't smart. He wasn't cunning enough. He thought a lot smaller. He had to like with Hody, he's thinking a little bit more. He's being a little bit more ruthless about whatever he's going, like to the point where he's the one who's been capturing all of the pirates who comes down there, and like just saves them for whatever reason, using them as slaves and like just tools for whatever they got going on. So like Hachi's like, nah, bro, we can't have this. And like they run him out of Fishman District, but we get to see Vanderdecken's power in this moment. Where he grabs a bunch of arrows. He has the mark fruit, where anything he
Of course, his
touches.
mark ass got the mark fruit.
Mm.
Vanderdecken got no. I'm not banging with Vanderdecken.
Nah, he ain't got
He's
no
too
sauce, man.
thirsty. Too thirsty, bro.
Yeah,
He's doing all
yeah.
this over.
He's scaring the hoes, bro. You
Yeah,
can't invite that nigga around, bro. Like, nah.
he on his Arthur Fleck, man. He's imagining relationships.
Yeah, man. That man is
He's a
You
sicko.
can't have him around. You can't
Yeah,
have him
you
around,
cannot
bro.
have him around, bro.
He's the
You
type of
can't have
nigga,
him
bro.
around. He's a liability for sure. Um, but no, and then we figure out that the new Fishman Pirates use a thing called an energy steroid. This is like it's essentially their perks. I'm telling you, he's a drug addict.
Yeah,
They're like,
perk
you shouldn't have
titties,
taken
bro.
that many energy steroids. Just like Reagan dropping crack in the community. I was like, Jesus, man. I was just like, it's too many coded language for me right now. You got the black,
Nah, bro.
they got them fighting for liberty. They're drug addicts.
What's the place in the wire? Amsterdam. That's exactly where they at,
Oh
bro.
yeah,
Like
because Hody definitely hit Hachi with the thing about the old days. The
they
old
the old day.
days. He is like one of those. He was like, man, oh my god. But no, Horty, like he's essentially though, like, man, we finna take over. He links up with Vanderdecken, who has the same grudge against the royal family, who also play. I think it's great to introduce him now, but I think in these next batch of episodes, or next episodes, we really get to see like their importance in terms of what the
Kind
Fishman
of where,
Pirates' beefs with them essentially. Like
yeah,
you kind of
because it's
understand like okay why they got issues.
yeah, because it's not really just with them, but humans in general.
Yeah,
And like we don't necessarily get into it in this batch. It'll start when we get to the flashback, but we learn about Fisher Tiger, a slave, a fishman slave who was freed a long time ago. And like with that entire story, it's like, well, damn, like fishmen really were going through that. I guess when you think about like Sabadi and them being auctioned off like that, you already sort of have an understanding of what fishmen going through and why they kind of hate these folks. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But like it's just like damn, bro. Like
So
yeah,
the royal family, we have King Neptune. We have we meet Prince Fukaboshi, his other brothers, Prince Ryuboshi and Prince Manaboshi, and then the princess Shirahoshi, and then their mom, who is deceased, Queen Otami. Um, we see the brothers, and we kind of we understand they're strong. They're they treat the royal family as royal family down there. Like
hmm
you see it every time they drop down, or if the commoners see them, they're like, oh my gosh, like what are y'all even doing down here with us common folk?
right,
Um, but no, we meet Prince Fukabashi, Ryobashi, and Manabashi. We meet them when they go to deliver the message. We meet King Neptune when he picks up Luffy and them, because when we are coming down, we saw the shark that they saved from the Kraken. It just so happened to be Princess Shirahoshi's pet. So King Neptune finds them personally and is like, yo, come back to the castle with me.
yeah,
Um, so as they're going back to the castle, we're thinking everything is okay. We're thinking everything is all right until you get to the castle and one of the higher ups gets a little ring from what's going down below. And
hmm
right now, the Straw Hat Pirates are being set up. And
yeah.
it's looking like they stole these mermaids. And then
When
what's up?
in reality, like we didn't talk about it for real, but like after they left the barrel that had what's his name
Caribou.
in it, caribou in it. And so the mermaids are like, we got to break this open. What if they got some food in there? Let's help them out a little bit. So they broke them out. Caribou took the mermaids, and now they think, oh shit, that guy was with y'all. It was on the Straw Hat ship. So we got to take y'all in for questioning because it's something dealing with y'all. Ever since y'all got here, these mermaids been missing. What's been going on?
And then
You know?
we have the psychic Shiarly, who has this vision of Luffy coming out of this fire, and she's like, Luffy is gonna help. He's gonna burn down Fishman Island. So obviously, like I said, every time the Straw Hats pull up somewhere, shenanigans is bound to happen. And so when
Mm-hmm.
they're coming into the palace, they're thinking like, "Oh, we're about to have this great banquet. We're about to have this fun." And they get there, and the IRL was like, "Wait, hold on a minute. These guys are under suspicion. Here, there are prime suspects in a couple crimes." So now we see they're back against the wall. And Neptune's like, listen, although you're due to some rightful, you're due to a fair trial, we still gotta lock you up right now. And
Yeah.
it becomes we see Zoro and Neptune, we see them clash for a second, and it just cuts to obviously the Straw Hat Pirates winning and getting them tied up. But this is when things get interesting. So Luffy he runs off, he meets Princess Shirahoshi, who is right now hitting behind a door because she is marked by Vanderdecken. And so with the mark fruit, whatever he throws towards his target is gonna go straight towards him, no matter how far, whatever, is gonna keep attacking them until it hits something. So they keep their lock up behind his door because he's constantly throwing stuff and attempting to murder her. And we see Luffy in there, and he runs into her, and he's like, "Yo, listen, you're a crybaby. You're a coward. We need to get you out this room. You've been trapped in here for 10 years. I'm gonna protect you. Let's get on out of here." And he sneaks the princess out, which causes more trouble for everybody because now they're thinking that he kidnapped the princess.
Yeah. Whole lot of shenanigans going on, man. Like, meanwhile, Vanderdecken is throwing stuff while he's talking to her. So he's not only is he throwing like axes and random stuff, by the time they break out, he started throwing the slave pirates that he trapped. And so now they're about to raid the palace. Brooke is trying to go and meet up with Shirahoshi because they hear this from across the palace. With Neptune and Zero and them tied up. They hear it from across the palace. Even then, Hody comes in and raids the palace too. So now there's just a whole bunch of shit going on between Shirahoshi leaving with Luffy. Brook and them have to fight off all of these pirates. Zoro has to fight off the Hody and his side. Meanwhile, they're about to flood the palace because Zoro and them can't breathe underwater. It's just a whole bunch of chaos going on, and they're really just trying to raid the palace at this point.
For a thing to be called One Piece or slow pace,
Mm.
whatever you want to pace joke you want to make, they kind of kick it up a notch pretty immediately here. Because it's Vanderdecken, like you said, Vanderdecken and Horty Jones, they kick off their plan. They're raiding the palace. They're raiding the cities. Luffy and them are kind of so right now who is captured is Zoro, uh, Usopp, Brook, and King Neptune.
Mm.
They're the current Straw Hats and the king that is currently trapped as um
And
Horty takes
notice,
over the huh?
I was about to say, notice how we didn't say Nami because she ended up escaping.
Yeah, Nami ends up escaping with Cammy because right now everybody else, all the other ones, they're all congregating to the Sea Forest.
Hmm.
Where Jinbei is currently awaiting them, and his message to them was, "Hey, don't fight Horty and meet me in the Sea Forest." So
Hmm.
we're all at the end of this, we're all congregating at the Sea Forest. We see kind of at the end of like, all right, what is you know w- the situation that they're in now? It's not looking good,
Yeah.
but here I think, even like we said, we're getting to the point where things are going to start being explained to why things are, because even Nami is like, I gotta understand the history. Like, I don't get why everyone's mad. Like, y'all is just angry to be angry. So she's like, all right, we got to figure this out. And obviously, Robin's journey brings her to the Sea Forest. Frankie finds the Thousand Sunny in the Sea Forest, and while Luffy meets up with Chopper and Sanji, they end up picking them up. We see Sanji is finally cured. The princess cures him. He was like, "You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." He was just like uh, it literally recalibrated his brain.
Yeah.
So you see our boy Sanji's black and he's saved from the nosebleeds. But they all get there. They all meet up with Jinbei. Jinbei is there. He's like, "Wait, all of this is happening? Like, what is going on here? Like, I haven't entered the city. I've been over here meditating, drinking
Hmm.
hot tea and chamomile tea, and you know, feeding the seahorses and all these other things." He was like, "Here y'all are causing havoc immediately."
Right.
Um, and we ended pretty much where Jinbei's like, all right, let me break it down to y'all about what's really going on here.
Yeah. And it kind of we just leave it off right there for real. Like we didn't really get a chance to talk about, the fact that Zoro ended up fighting Horty and Luffy clashed with Vanderdeck and the two big bads. But, both
I
of
think
them
both
took
are,
them out
and
pretty
I think
easy
both
though.
were, and both were very. They were solid fights. They were like those.
Yeah.
It was that those type of fights where you're like you just want to get the level of where they're at. You want to see where the
Yeah.
big bads are at. Like the Horty versus Zoro fight underwater. Zoro holding his breath. We see Zoro thinking that he defeated Horty, but they take those energy pills again, and we kind of see what those things do.
Mhm.
It's just steroids, and so it what they said, it doubles their strength, it doubles like all their speeds and techniques. We see when they attempted to escape, Horty after the energy pills able to stop Hoei, just by grabbing his tail. He essentially just
Yeah.
drags the king back and all them. So we you and even with the Vanderdecken thing, like you see Luffy hit him even tied up, hit him with a gear two. What was it?
A jet hammer or
Jet
something.
hammer, and Horty was still able to survive that and still after the chase. So I think it's nice to see where they're at, but I think the next battles are when they really really get down.
Mhm.
That's when you're really like, okay, they're really putting these things to work.
Yeah, yeah. And shout out to Usopp on the low. Like, he's not at this moment being a
Hey, listen,
coward.
you know what? You know what? As a known Usopp hater, I give my dog some props. I give him some props. He took up a little leadership role.
Yeah.
He stepped up. Brook was down. Zoro was fighting underwater. He was like, "Man, I gotta hold this down." He was like, "Hold on." He was like, "Now I gotta go get Zoro." When we went dug down there, trying to get him out of there, jam. You know what? Usopp stepped up.
Yeah, man. He trying to earn that captain status he been trying to fight for. Shout out to
So,
him.
one thing that we did get, and I feel is more of it was a nice little bonus Easter egg thing. They don't get too deep into it until a little later. Um, so we learn about Lin Lin. This is
Yeah.
mention of Lin Lin.
Yeah.
That
Charlotte Linlin.
they're going through uh where they're going getting a tour of Fishman Island. They're like, this is the candy factory, and they seen all these like different. They're like, man, we seen that flag posted up a few different spots. Like, what's up with it? They're like, oh, that flag. That means we're Lin Lin's territory.
Territory.
You know, so we work under her. She's one of the four emperors. Her name.
Hmm.
The Big Bomb Pirates. They're like, essentially, she offers us protection, but we got to do this.
Yeah.
And we gotta pump out our candy before Whitebeard died. It was we were Whitebeard territory. Yeah, so we kind of get these name drops, and you kind of start to see like, oh, like in a new world, things are a little different. Like people got territories. There's certain islands that belong to people now. You're like, okay. And even Luffy's like, that sounds kind of cool. And he was just like, yeah, but thing is that we're Whitebeard's territory. He didn't ask for nothing from us.
Exactly.
He
Like,
he was like, we were just under his, we were under his protection. He was like, now Linlin got us working. Yeah.
yeah, but it ain't much though. All she wanted is a little, sea salt candy. You feel me? Like that's really it. To me, that ain't much. But Luffy's also like, I kind of want to meet her one day. She seems kind of chill. Luffy will bond over anybody with food. I mean, it's kind of cool to have that Easter egg just dropped this early. I won't say this early because we got her name dropped also back in like Thriller Bark because of Lola. Um, but we get a little bit more of her just in this moment. So I'm glad that there's going to expand on people and places that will eventually go to in One Piece.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, that just that foreshadowing, just seeing how like now, like you said, the new world is just is built different. You just see
Yeah,
like that's what I like about this time skip is that it gives us it feels different. Like the world really is different. How people are operating over here really is different than like these ain't no second rate pirates anymore. Like if you made it
yeah,
this far, like it's for a reason. Like you're over here for a reason. Like we get down over here. So like if you're not coming over here to be serious about this, like let's not do it.
yep. That's the reason why they had to move Marine headquarters to the New World because they're like, nah, bro, we got to monitor this area hard. Like we know it's about to go crazy over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for sitting with us for another episode of The Lookout. As always, you know where to find us. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, Twitter, The Lookout RNC, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to that. Yeah, and obviously always stay on the lookout for all the new things and things that we're dropping. AD, any last words?
You know, there's some new stuff out, new manga out. Go check out Shonen Jump stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff has ended, a lot of new stuff coming out. Trade deadline finally ended. You feel me? Yeah. But yeah. Hey man, listen. I'm glad that we're through the hurdle, and
You
hopefully,
survived
hey,
somewhat. You purged your whole team, except the guys that you wanted to get purged.
you know, he got a couple of months left with us, and then we're into a new era. We're in the new world.
You're in the new world. Well, appreciate you guys. Peace.